I'm Lynn Mitzel,
And I'm LaCosta Potter.
and we're math specialists with the Southeast Educational Cooperative.
We like to say that just in time is what you need, when you need it, and how it should be.
What you need, including content and best practices. It's when you need. The idea of just in time, the name itself. The sessions are scattered throughout the year to make the best use of the learning, and how it should be. Both how the professional development is delivered, but also how it should look in a classroom.
When designing it, we have taken 3 lenses into consideration: the content of the North Dakota State Standards, the instructional best practices for teaching and learning in a math classroom, as well as classroom coaching opportunities for those teachers.
Just in Time provides both resources or curriculum ideas on how you might approach standards, but it also provides the deep understanding that's necessary for teachers and for our students to really understand what the content is about and to really engage in the content. When we look through the second lens at best practices, we think about both teacher and student.
While teachers are not only learning the content of the North Dakota State Standards, they're engaging in the mathematical practice standards that students are expected to demonstrate proficiency in their classrooms.
One of the biggest strategies that I use a lot more of is the modeling. They can't explain why or how they got something. So I think that creating those visuals when solving problems has helped my kids a great deal.
We've done more modeling with the students using hands-on, whether it's a tangram, whether it's using a graph paper to all of it, or to making number lines to all of a sudden show how those can show relationships with fractions, with division, with multiplication.
One of the strategies that I like to incorporate is more of that gradual release idea.
Students here came up and showed how they solved a problem, and it might be different from how someone else reached an answer, and I've implemented that idea in my classroom. Come up and show me how you solved it. Did anyone else solve it in a different way? And they come up and demonstrate that.
It's probably more of what didn't we do. We did them all. We had hands-on types of activities. We worked independently. We worked with other people. We did kinesthetic learning styles. We read articles. We shared things. We were moving constantly and manipulating things and just, kind of working in all areas of the brain.
I can look at my 7th graders this year, starting this year with them with the just in time right away. You can just tell from my sophomore class how much more they can develop questions and be able to think in a mathematical way and use mathematical vocabulary.
It helps them open up more to their neighbors and their partners, where they can discuss mathematical ideas.
Conversation about the math. It's not just 1 + 2 is 3. It's why it's happening that way and how it works for different problems, not just the problem that we're working on.
They started going their own direction with modeling and thinking more abstractly. I think it really sparked a lot of thought. Going outside of just computation, they were starting to reason more.
The third lens of Just in Time involves classroom coaching. This can happen through peer coaching or instructional coaching, but we know in order to take any professional learning to the next level, that peer coaching is critical to get it there.
The best way to improve on your teaching is to have that peer evaluation and know. You can think that you're doing the right things, but you don't really know.
I think anytime someone can come into my classroom and observe what I'm doing and point out things that I'm doing well and maybe ask me what I could have done differently or things that I felt could have been done in a different manner, or just kind of questioning my techniques, making me, reflect on why I did what I did. I think you never stop learning. If you stop learning as a teacher, you shouldn't be in the classroom.
Not only is Just in Time designed to meet the needs of the instructor, it's designed to meet the sequential nature of the learning progression in mathematics for students.
It was just perfect. It worked in with our schedule. I had, like I said previously, when a new unit was coming up, it was just like 2 or 3 weeks before we had the training, and we were able to just go back and use it right away. I think that's how all training should be, as far as giving it to the teachers when they need it, not front-loading them in August and then expecting it to last throughout the year. It needs to fit in throughout so that it's, you know, you're not overwhelmed at one time. And it also, I think how it should be is how your classroom should look as well. The things that are the best practices, and that's what was taught us and what we practiced in our in-services we also got to use in our classroom, which in those best practices are extremely valuable for all of us.
I would say 100% sign up, because what I do every day in my classroom has been learned from this PD.
I knew a lot about math before, but even just being able to break this up and, you know, hearing the questions that they have, it makes me reflect more on, oh, well, is that true, or can that happen?
Of all the PDs I've done over the years, and I've taught 16 years, this is probably the most productive.
Every single time I went to one of these just-in-time in-service days, I came back ready to go. I had many strategies to use, and I felt that everything was so applicable to what I was doing in class that it was never ever even thought of being a waste of time. It only enhances your teaching.